Greetings, heroes of Dominion. Zeus here with an important update for the Lara Croft event. In this video, we're going to break down the Temple Guardian boss fights from level 180 all the way to level 250. And here's the hook, two major changes have shaken things up. First, level 220 has been reworked. Previously it required buff 25, but after more testing we now know it can be completed with buff 20. Second, the brand new level 250 has been added, and surprisingly, it only requires buff 10. That's much lower than anyone expected. But don't get too excited yet, because at level 230, you'll still run into one of the heaviest walls of this event, with a requirement of buff 90. Let's go step by step so you know exactly what to expect and how to plan your resources. Level 180, buff 0. At level 180, the Temple Guardian lineup is Rufus with Axel, Satori with Merlin, Lara Croft with Fenris, Astrid and Lucas with Mara, and Aiden with Chorus, supported by Merlin as team pet. This team looks dangerous because Rufus can block magic and Satori punishes energy gain. But surprisingly, with the right setup this fight is still manageable at buff 0, so you don't need to spend anything here. Level 190, buff 0. Moving on to level 190, the lineup changes to Isaac with Oliver, Sebastian with Albus, Lara Croft with Fenris, Astrid and Lucas with Vex, and Iris with Biscuit, with Albus as the team pet. This setup has strong synergy. Isaac shuts down control, Sebastian amplifies crits, and Iris punishes tanks. Even so, it's tuned so that buff 0 is enough. Level 200, buff 0. At 200, we face Satori with Merlin, Isaac with Oliver, Nebula without a pet, Sebastian with Albus, and Lara Croft with Vex, with Albus as the team pet. This is another heavy-hitting team with both energy punishment from Satori and damage amplification from Nebula. But again, no buffs are needed, buff 0 clears this stage. Level 210, buff 0. Level 210 brings in Astaroth with Biscuit, Isaac with Oliver, Nebula without a pet, Sebastian with Albus, and Lara Croft with Vex, with Albus as team pet. Astaroth makes things tougher with his resurrection, but once more, this stage is designed so players can progress without spending. That means buff 0 is still enough. Level 220, buff 20, reworked. Here's where the first big change comes. Level 220 was previously thought to require buff 25. But now, thanks to further testing, we know it can be beaten with buff 20. The team here is Aurora with Axel, Galahad with Fenris, Isaac with Mara, Lara Croft with Vex, and Iris with Albus, with Vex as the team pet. Aurora and Isaac together create a tough defense, while Lara Croft and Iris handle the damage. Reducing the buff requirement to 20 makes a big difference for resource management, so this is an important update. Level 230, buff 90. And then we hit the wall. Level 230 demands a huge buff 90 to win. The boss lineup is Galahad with Albus, and Vari with Oliver, Isaac with Mara, Lara Croft with Vex, and Iris with Biscuit, with Axel as the team pet. This fight combines survivability with control immunity, and heavy damage output. It's not one to rush into. Buff 90 is a serious investment, and many players will struggle here. Here comes the surprise. Level 240 requires no buffs at all. The lineup here is Galahad with Oliver, Isaac with Mara, Sebastian with Albus, Lara Croft with Fenris, and Iris with Biscuit. Team Pet, Albus. Yes, you heard that right. After the heavy buff demand at 230, level 240 suddenly drops back down to buff 0. This is very unusual for an event like this and makes progression much more accessible than expected. Level 250, Buff 10, New Edition. Finally, let's talk about the brand new level 250. The lineup here is Astaroth with Axel, Galahad with Biscuit, Isaac with Oliver, Sebastian with Albus, and Lara Croft with Mara, with Axel as the team pet. And the surprise? It only requires Buff 10. After the heavy wall at 230, nobody expected 250 to be this forgiving. This is a pleasant surprise and allows players to push further without draining resources. So here's the summary: from 180 to 210, you can clear everything with buff 0. At 220, the requirement has been reworked down to buff 20. At 230, the difficulty spikes hard with buff 90, making it the biggest wall of this event. And finally, 250 is a new edition that requires only buff 10, giving everyone a chance to advance again. My strongest advice: be patient. The event lasts for several days, and the community is still testing. Don't rush your resources, especially at level 230, where the buff demand is massive. Wait for updates, follow the tested teams, and spend wisely. Before we close, I want to give a special thanks to Chris Libby. These team compositions and insights came from FM, Idle, Server 21, Brave Hearts. Your contribution makes guides like this possible and helps the whole Hero Wars community progress together. Stay sharp, Guardians, and as always, salute and friendship.